Here's a fly ball out towards center field. This one's going back, and this one is gone! Taylor gets this one out towards center field to the short porch, and it's a grand slam! That's a floater, out to short, and it's booted off the shortstop's glove! Just like they drew it from Hollywood. Caladros, the 3-2. Swing and a miss! And the Audubon Green Wave have upset the Kingsway Dragons! Grant Fournier, 2-run shot to right.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, March is behind us. April is here. And they do say that April showers bring May flowers, but we don't have to worry about that until the weekend. Rain poured down overnight across all of South Jersey, but luckily it cleared up quickly enough for us to play some baseball today, and that's no April Fool's joke. It's the Shawnee Renegades and the Cherry Hill West Lions facing off in a marquee Olympic Conference matchup here on the opening Tuesday of the 2025 baseball season. I'm joined by I'm Dan Wilkins, joined by Chris Baker and Damian Waiters on the call for us today. As Cherry Hill West and Shawnee, this is a rivalry that has been around for a long, long time, and in fact, in baseball, it gets better by the year. 4 of the last 5 matchups between these two teams have ended in a 1-run game. And guess what? Last time these two played, it was a Cherry Hill West walk-off win in extra innings, 3-2. Doesn't get much better than that. And we've seen Cherry Hill West at the peak of their game at a lot of the time last year. We saw them right here at the Tom Trotman Field versus Paul Sixth, and also in the Diamond Classic quarterfinal versus another Olympic Conference opponent in Lenape. But these guys playing Shawnee today marks a new page for Dan McMaster in 2025. He lost John Young Jr. to graduation along with the South Jersey Pitcher of the Year, Ryder Garino. And it's not easy to rebound after losing a star-studded shortstop like Young, who's now getting some playing time over at Alabama. Meanwhile, Ryder Garino is lighting it up for the South Carolina Gamecocks in the SEC. But Cherry Hill West went 24-5 last year. They won the Diamond Classic Championship, and they had a storybook season. However, that also included a win over Gloucester Catholic, one of their 2 losses in 2024, the other one being to Del Barton. So Cherry Hill West has stepped up to the occasion when it matters the most, and Shawnee just a step behind them. They were 18-10 in 2024, and in fact started off the year very well with a 3-0 start and a 6-2 opening 8 games. Now, meanwhile, they did have some skids, but versus very good teams. Morristown, Bishop Eustace, Cherokee, and Lenape were their losses in early April. They lost in the first round of the Diamond Classic to PVI 11-4, but they've beaten some very good teams, and they're not afraid to go out of their way to play good out-of-conference schedules. That includes Kingsway, Bordentown, Burlington Township, Audubon, and others. They made it all the way to the South Jersey Group 3 final, losing to eventual sectional championship winner Delsey. And Cherry Hill West for themselves in the South Jersey Group 3 final, they were the number one seed and lost in the South Jersey Group 3 semis to, you guessed it, Delsey. Shawnee just got done with infield, outfield, and it's going to be a great matchup today. We've got Tim Doherty on the mound for Shawnee, and then the junior right-hander Isaiah Pierce-Gonzalez on the mound for Cherry Hill West. It is a bit chilly here at Cherry Hill, but not too bad considering the other February and March games we've done. Sunny skies, not a cloud in sight, and it's a beautiful day after last night's downpour of rain here in South Jersey. We'll be right back in just a moment with starting lineups, first pitch, and much more here on Dan Wilkins Broadcasting. Welcome back here from the Tom Trotman Field, the newly renovated complex here at Cherry Hill West. I'm Dan Wilkins, joined by Chris Baker on color commentary, and Damian Waiters as an assistant today, as we've got a classic and an eclectic Olympic Conference matchup between the Shawnee Renegades and the Cherry Hill West Lions. The Lions just taking the field now with Isaiah Pierce-Gonzalez, the right-hander, who will be getting the start for the Lions. Gonzalez, the junior right-hander who will be joining us for the 2025 opener for Cherry Hill West, has been doing quite well for himself in his young seasons. Had a sub-3 ERA in 2024 with a 2.56 total, 27 and a third innings pitched, just 10 earned runs, 9 walks, and 35 strikeouts. Across his appearances, across 27 and a third innings, he had a grand total of 10 appearances. 2 versus Seneca, 2 versus Delsey, 2 versus Winslow. And the best appearance that he had was easily versus Group 2 sectional champions Seneca. Back on May 1st, in a 7-0 win, he went 5 innings, walked 1, gave up no earned runs on 3 hits, and struck out 9. He also threw 5 versus Delsey in the last game of the regular season, or I should say, not in the regular season, but in the semifinals of South Jersey Group 3. He pitched 5 innings in a 5-4 loss to the Renegades. No, not that. Delsey Crusaders. There we go. Couldn't think of it for a second there. He threw 5, gave up 1 hit, 1 walk, and 5 strikeouts in a game that Delsey eventually won 5-4. Let's introduce the visitors tonight for the Shawnee Renegades, coached by Brian Anderson. It's going to be Chris Ahrens in center field. Cole Anderson takes the second spot in right. Chase Roberts is at short. Then you've got Chase Kowal at first base. Caden Maybury takes the second base spot at position number 5. Dylan Moles is the DH. Aiden Brady bats 7th in left field. Carson Celia, the junior, is at third base, batting 8th. And behind the dish will be Taylor Burton behind the backstop. And then it is Tim Doherty, the pitcher for Shawnee, going into this opening day for both of these Olympic foes. Shawnee 18-10 in the 2024 campaign. Cherry Hill West 24-5 as their catcher Hayden Baker will fire it down to second. Baker will meet with Pierce-Gonzalez on the hill. The infield will make sure they're on the same page, and we're going to get ready for Olympic Conference baseball here on Dan Wilkins Broadcasting. A softball game between the same two teams are going on behind us as it's 51 degrees at first pitch, wind blowing out towards right center field, and we've got our first batter of the day for Shawnee. It's going to be Chris Ahrens, the center fielder.
Yeah, a little windy here today. Thankfully for West, they have a decent amount of left-handers in the batter's box, so hopefully the Renegades looking pretty good for them today.
Pierce-Gonzalez is set, and we're underway with a first pitch down and out. Ahrens hit .384 as a junior, 33 for 86, 14 RBIs. 1 home run, 13 extra base hits, and 21 stolen bases. He's a career .347 hitter. His home run came in a 29-1 win over Winslow in early May. Count is 2-0 already to Ahrens. Got the strike called there, 2-1. Ahrens, also a wrestling athlete for the Renegades. 29 career stolen bases for him. 16 career doubles, 10 of them last year. Got the strike down the middle, and after a 2-0 start to the at-bat, we're evened up at 2-2.
Yeah, good stuff by Pierce-Gonzalez, getting behind the count early, battling back, grabbed 2 straight strikes, pretty much right down broad, so put himself in a good count here.
This one is poked out towards second base. It's picked up by Bechtel. Throw to first is in time, and Ahrens is retired for the first out of the ball game. Out number 1. Good at bat there from Ahrens, even though he didn't get out. Worked the count, was able to get a couple of good looks there, and now with Cole Anderson at the dish, going to set it up for a lefty-lefty matchup here between Gonzalez and Anderson.
Yeah, if you're a lefty today, you want to try and pull that ball. Obviously not want to try and pull it extremely, but even for the righties, want to try and work outside in. Trying to, keep it to win there. As Dan mentioned before, wind's blowing out to right center, so you want to try and keep that wind on your side.
Swing and a miss by Anderson. Gusts up to 21 miles per hour today. Certainly not as extreme as when we were in Bordentown last week, Chris and I, in a 3-2 walk-off win. Got another swing and a miss on a curveball. The count is now 0-2 to the young center fielder. Actually, I apologize, right fielder today for the Renegades, Anderson. 0-2. This one is hit out to straightaway right. This one could split the gap, but instead calling for it in center fielder is the Delaware commit, Grant Fournier, out number 2.
2 quick outs there for Pierce Gonzalez. Working ahead in that count early, filling up the strike zone. So, I mean, some good stuff out of him here early on in this ball game, the top of the first. You know, that's what you want to see if you're Coach McMaster. Start the season off right there, knowing that one of your arms, after losing an arm like Ryder Garino, you know, to try and make sure that your pitching staff's able to fill up that zone.
Those are big shoes to fill. Garino starting tonight in the SEC midweek out of conference versus Presbyterian College. Chris tipped me off about that before the game, that he'll be the starter for the Gamecocks versus Presbyterian. And John Young Jr. hasn't gotten as much exposure at the dish at Alabama, but is certainly getting his fair share with the Crimson Tide.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of hard when you got a guy like Justin LeBron ahead of him.
Oh, yeah.
Shortstop position guy like.
Is LeBron a senior over there at Alabama?
No, he's a sophomore.
Sophomore,
True
wow.
sophomore, I'm pretty sure.
He is electric.
So, yeah, he won't even be draft eligible till next year.
Didn't get the zone there, and the count is 1-1, it looks like, to the shortstop, Roberts. Hit on the ground to short. Picked up, throw across the diamond is in time. A clean first for Isaiah Pierce Gonzalez, the southpaw. He sets down the Renegades in order. We'll be right back here from Tom Trotman Field as the West Lions grab their bats. Here at Cherry Hill West, Tim Doherty getting the start. First pitch is it's like a swing and a miss there by Cherry Hill West's leadoff man. Tim Doherty this year, or I should say last year, as the left-hander for the Renegades. 1.73 ERA, just 18 hits allowed in 32 and a third innings with 57 strikeouts and 20 walks. High workload for Anderson. Strike called there. Count us very quickly 0-2 to Grant Fournier. The commit to Delaware, the Blue Hens. As Doherty, he'll step out. Fournier homered to complete a comeback versus PVI when we covered them back in April of last year. As that one is up and out to the senior. He had 2 homers last year, 3 in his career. Batted .444 as a junior with a .589 slugging percentage. 16 walks all told, 28 RBIs. Sitting at 62 career hits, and after he had 40 as a junior, definitely could be in reach if the Lions make a deep playoff run. Southpaw delivers right down Broadway. Fournier takes a back seat, and that'll be out number 1 as the Delaware Blue Hens commit goes down looking. Let's take a look at that Cherry Hill West starting lineup brought to you by Harper Driving School. You just saw Grant Fournier at the dish there. Jeff Casano is in right field. Aiden Ryder takes the third base position. Luciano McCree at first. Josue Holloway in left, batting fifth. Andrew Bechtel at short. Luis Sanchez is the DH. Hayden Baker is the backstop. And Eric Brown is the second baseman. First pitch is a strike to Casano as Doherty is working the zone early. Definitely a unique matchup here in South Jersey. Not often do you get 2 lefties going against each other. Especially Doherty committed to West Virginia. He'll be headed to Mountaineer Country next year.
Hey, joining his former teammate Ben Hudson.
That's correct. Over in the Big 12, I believe. Casano will hit this one out towards right field. No, it's going to get stopped at second base. It will get booted at second base. It will trickle into right field for Anderson, but Casano will reach there on a miscue. Over at second base by the Renegades, and we have our first base runner by either side. A little dribbler by Casano brings up the third baseman, Ryder. Yeah, you were talking about this. Casano, first of all, Fournier, the left-hander, and then another one here with Ryder. The lefty-lefty matchups, they could favor the pitcher, they could not. Depends on if that defense is going to back them up and pick off throw to first. Not nearly in time, but it'll be an interesting precedent to see how that all works out, to see if those guys can be able to handle facing a hard-throwing lefty like Doherty. First pitch is a strike right down the pipe to Ryder. Couldn't catch the zone there. And it's 1-1.
Yeah, it looks like the outfield's playing a little bit of I guess a lefty pull shift kind of. I can't really kind of tell from this position, but it looks like there's a big gap in left center. So maybe if you're already going to try and work it that way, give Casano a chance to get to third on a hit and run situation possibly.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, with a guy like Ryder at the dish, definitely hammering those pickoffs a lot here early on, and as you can see, that shift is definitely applied in some force, maybe a little bit more in left and center than it is in right, but I don't know what the high school shifting rules are, as Ryder gets a swing and a miss there.
You're good to go. Don't matter. No, I don't think it's the same as MLB.
It's not as restrictive.
I don't think it's restricted at all. I think you're able to do what you want.
Yeah. Here's the 1-2. Ryder. No, another pickoff throw. That's the third from Doherty. I knew the shift was going to start getting banned. When I went to Fenway Park in 2022, and the Toronto Blue Jays lined up with 4 outfielders. They sent their second baseman, literally just smacked him right between center and right, and they left another half of the infield open, and I'm just like, what are we doing here? That one is up and in. Ryder gets hit. Casano will get down to second, and they'll call the dead ball as Ryder gets tagged, and 2 runners will be on for the Lions. Bringing up their cleanup man, Luciano McCree, the first baseman. Another lefty bat. So a strikeout, an error, and a hit by pitch have given West a key opportunity here versus the Renegades with just one out. So here's the first baseman, McCree, in another lefty-lefty situation. I mean, if you're Doherty, you want to set down those lefties twice as bad as the righties just because you want to face the lefties, with that confidence a little bit higher. We always talk about the lefty-lefty matchups as being a mismatch, but obviously that hasn't been the case to start. Fournier went down looking, but you saw Casano got a E4, and then Ryder got hit by a pitch. So it's been a bit of a precarious start for Doherty, now having to worry about these base runners. McCree swings at one low, skies it to straightaway center. Aarons is there. Both runners will hold, and there's two away. That'll bring up Josue Holloway. Holloway is one of those energy guys for Cherry Hill West, and definitely a guy that helped lead the charge, especially in the Diamond Classic, closed it out in a win over Delsey in the Diamond. Delsey, of course, just got their first win under new coach Vincent Londino yesterday over Deptford, 4-0.
And with him got Coach Londino, he knows how to win. Longtime assistant at Gloucester Catholic under Coach Adam Tussey. Part of those state championship teams they had with guys like Ant Salmedo, Lilo Paxia, Luke Lesh, all those guys. So he knows how to win.
Absolutely knows how to win, and one of 6 or 7 new head coaches introduced around South Jersey. Valdra Forbes at Millville. Of course, Joe Smith being one of the more notable ones, if not the most notable change, moving from Delsey to Mainland. Like I said, the 1-2 punch of Billy Kern and Joe Smith. I mean, Kern won't be in the dugout, but the wisdom that those two are probably going to share together is going to be big, even though they did get swept in their series versus St. Augustine last week. Ball went to the backstop. Both runners held. McCree, the senior first baseman, after flying out to center field, brings up Holloway. Another senior garnering the quarter outfielder. He is in left today, as that one again skips down. Casano first started to pump to third and then slammed on the brakes, went back to second. Holloway, 2 career home runs, 306 career hitter, 482 slugging, had a 361 batting average, 22 for 61 with 20 RBIs and 18 walks in 2024.
I believe one of those home runs was a walk-off in the playoffs. Was it last year or 2 years ago, I think?
Believe it was
It's Toms River South, I want to say.
Yeah, I think it was 2 years ago in 2023, because his shot in 24
Camden Catholic,
was very early in the season versus Camden Catholic, so that would be 2023 over Toms River South, a 4-1 final back on May 22nd.
Walk-off grand slam, I think.
Yeah, doesn't get much better than that. He'll be talking about that one for a long time.
Oh, yes.
And hey, 2 years later, we're still talking about it. Stands the test of time. Doherty delivers right down the middle. Got a strike there.
Full count, 2 outs. Runner's going to be off here, so something in the gap could score 2, at least 1.
Yeah, thanks for telling me with a full count. I actually can't read the scoreboard out there and left, so I kind of have to jog mental notes about where we are in the count. We're a good 375, 400 feet away here at the Tom Trotman Field. Renovated a couple of years ago and now has the thick windscreen with the black fence. And there's a foul tip. Looks like Holloway got a piece of it and will stay alive. If you're just joining us, no score in the bottom of the first inning. Tim Doherty still working with the motions versus Holloway. On deck, if the inning continues, will be the shortstop Bechtel. Right down the middle. Doherty got him, and the side is retired. Good inning for Tim Doherty as he leaves 2 on, but gets a handful of strikeouts to squash the threat. We're scoreless after 1 here at the Trot. Cherry Hill West and Shawnee, 0-0. Beautiful spring day here at Cherry Hill West, as it's no score between the Renegades of Shawnee and the Cherry Hill West Lions here as two left-handers on the hill on this Tuesday opening day for both teams. Ground ball to first, picked up easy, and it's out number one. One up, one down for the Renegades. Yeah, I really like how Pierce Gonzalez is keeping that pitch count down, putting balls into the field of play. Had two groundouts and one fly ball in the first. So making quick work of the Renegades in the early going now that the Lions left two runners on offensively. Strike called right down the middle to the number 5 hitter, that being Maybury, after Chase Kowal grounded out to first for out number 1. Did not get the call there, and it's 1-1.
Looks like the sun's having a nice little day today. It's getting a little too warm wearing my jacket.
Yeah, I wore my my plaid jacket in the instance I saw it was going to be 51 degrees with wind, and I'm thinking, yeah, I'm going to need my jacket, but apparently not. Strike called there on the fastball, 1-2.
Got a huge pitching matchup in the Olympic Conference as well at Bishop Eustace. We got a Harvard commit, Brett Gable and Eamon McDermott getting a start. Georgetown commit for Eustace. That should be a good one. I should get a camera over there for D2. Got Kirsten Kogel over there.
Always good stuff. The Olympic Conference brings some of the best as there's strike 3. Pierce Gonzalez with his first punch out of the night, and there's out number 2.
Yeah, man, Olympic Conference, dude. Don't matter if you got 5 wins or if you got 25 wins. It is never an off day in the Colonial Conference. Or I'm sorry, the Olympic Conference.
Yeah, I think I have always liked covering the Olympic Conference just because every team is good at something. You know, Camden is good at basketball. Cherry Hill West is good at baseball. You know, you've got great football schools in there as well. You know, there's always going to be something good out there. There's always going to be a good product. And, you know, I see sometimes there's schools that don't belong in certain conferences and maybe will be better off somewhere else. But, you know, when you're talking about geographic conference alignments, we only have five conferences here in South Jersey: BCSL, Colonial, Olympic, Tri-County. What am I forgetting? Olympic, of course.
Cape Atlantic.
Cape Atlantic. Yeah, that's what I was saying. I said Olympic twice. An off day for all of us. But yeah, it ended up being, you know, when we heard the news about Wildwood moving back to the Cape Atlantic, you know, it was surprising that people were like, it took this long, just because they were that far misaligned and kind of misrepresented in the Tri-County, because everybody else was at least 30 plus minutes away from them. It was a hassle to travel all the time for every sport. As that one is popped up, this one is going to go out of play.
Not even that. It was originally a football move because Cape Atlantic's always been a strong football conference. And if you're Wildwood, you know, in football, you know, it's hard because most of those schools are all bigger. You got a lot of private schools, so you got your Holy Spirits and your St. Augustines.
And that was before the WJFL was created.
Exactly,
I think it was
yeah.
05, 06 that they moved to the Cal.
It was 02, 03.
Okay, a little bit
early
earlier than that.
2000s, yeah.
This one is laced out towards center field. Fournier goes in for the slide, and he makes the catch. Inning over. 6 up, 6 down for Pierce Gonzalez, and Fournier bails out his pitcher with a nice slide in center field. We're through 1.5. Still 2 goose eggs on the scoreboard here at Cherry Hill. Hill West with the cherry blossoms blooming here in 2025.
Cherry blossom on a hill. Cherry Hill.
Cherry Hill. Cherry Hill was not originally named Cherry Hill. It was originally Delaware Township until it was renamed in 1972.
Really?
It was originally called Delaware Township because it bordered the Delaware River, because the original town border of Cherry Hill went up into Palmyra, Cinnaminson area, and actually bordered the Delaware River in Philadelphia. It was, I think it was either 62 or 72 that was renamed, but
I want to say it was 52 because I think 72.
that would be a little bit too late.
My dad and uncles always remembered it as Cherry Hill, and they were born around that same time. Even my granddad, when he was still around, knew it as Cherry Hill when they were little kids.
That one is high and away to the leadoff man for Cherry Hill West in the second, Andrew Bechtel, 6, 7, and 8. Bechtel, Sanchez, and Baker. Cherry blossoms aren't even native to the U.S. They were a gift from Japan during World War I as a gift for their allyship in 1917. And the reason why cherry blossoms are so prevalent and popular in Washington, D.C. is because when Japan gifted them to the U.S., they planted them in Washington, D.C., and that's why the Nationals had those City Connect uniforms with the cherry blossoms.
They got rid of.
And unfortunately, they got rid of them. And basically, I mean, when you think of Washington, D.C., one of the first things you think about, besides the capital of our country, is cherry blossoms. Check swing there by Bechtel. Appeal to first says yes. And that'll be 2 strikes against Bechtel. But no, big town. The 16th most populated town in New Jersey, 72,000 just about, which is why there's 2 high schools in this area. Cherry Hill West, that competes in Group 3 of athletics. There's a strikeout by Doherty. And Cherry Hill East, which is the larger of the schools, even though West is still relatively big. It's out number 1. Bechtel is retired.
Yeah, East of Group 4 or 5 participant, football of Group 5.
Yeah, they're one of the biggest schools in South Jersey.
Oh yeah. I think Williamstown is the biggest.
Not Vineland? I think Vineland's got like 2,700 kids.
I think Williamstown might have that beat.
Interesting. We saw them yesterday. Lost 14-1 to Clearview in the opening day matchup for the Tri-County Royal Division. 2 home runs by the Pioneers, one by Tyler Dell, the other by Ian Markison.
Yeah, 2021 South Jersey Group 4 final matchup.
The year that they went 21-4 in the first year with Coach Jim Slade. That one's fouled back by Hayden Baker.
That was a great game, too. Extra inning game, 8 innings.
That was at Clearview, right?
Williamstown.
Oh, is that Williamstown? Okay.
That was the day of my high school graduation.
Wow.
We were watching it before our graduation started because we didn't know if it was going to rain, our graduation was going to get rained out or not.
That's what we were worried about for mine as well. I mean, mine was a little bit more recent, but it was funny while you're on the topic of graduation because it looked like it was going to pour, and then it held back just long enough for everybody to get their diplomas. And my graduating class was 134. They went into it, and they said that about halfway through everybody getting their diplomas, Dan Howie, the former AD at Woodbury and now guidance director at Audubon, came up to us and said, hey, just everybody get up, form a line, form the line with your names in order, and we're just going to go because the rain's going to get here before us. So it started to drip a little bit, but by the time everybody got their diplomas and threw their caps, we were out of there. Swing and a miss. So now Sanchez down in the count after Bechtel struck out.
To break in the new turf. That was our first event on the new turf field at Gloucester High.
Well, there you go. Doherty working with another lefty in Luis Sanchez. Hayden Baker is on deck. And that one misses upstairs. Should be 2-2. Oh, there we go. Never mind. Like I said, it is hard to read that scoreboard. I can't read it at all, actually, down there, just because of the angle that we're at. So here we go. Versus Sanchez, another lefty-lefty matchup. Here's the pitch. That, I think it hit the bat. And he'll circle around and he'll get back into the box here. Shawnee and Cherry Hill West tied at 0-0 in the bottom of the second inning. Sanchez, the hitter for West. And that will be ball 4. Sanchez gets a free base. First walk issued by Doherty, and now that brings up the catcher Hayden Baker in the 8 spot. Very good at bat there by Sanchez to work the count. Foul a couple of them off, stay alive for long enough, and definitely a really good start there. By the way, some out-of-town scores from around South Jersey. St. Augustine leads Millville 2-0 in the second inning. Looking for something on Cherokee Eustis. Saw Kevin Minnick, our good friend, is there. Joe Erase homered on the first pitch of the game.
Ooh, Arachi.
Arachi, yeah.
He's good. He's pretty good. That kid going to Rutgers, kid can swing it, man. He is a vacuum at shortstop.
My first ever interview, back when I was 13. I was working for a journalist's like kind of blog at the time, and I knew this kid from South Jersey that had gone viral. And of course, Arachi had gone viral, when he was younger for his training regimen. And, they were calling him the phenom and stuff like that. First of all, I'm glad that he's living up to the expectations as a Power 5 Division I baseball commit. We've seen sometimes the internet prodigies like Julian Newman just kind of flame out. I'm glad that he has lived up to that. Got to see him when I was at Audubon in 2024 and 23. But either way, still just an excellent product. But I got to interview him. I think it was just before COVID because I was in my old apartment at the time. And we talked about, future aspirations, favorite players. My questions were not nearly as good as they are now, but it was interesting talking to him. Somebody around my age about stardom and baseball, and had a feeling that kid was going to go far, and he has, entering his senior year at St. Augustine. Hayden Baker, the right-hander, fouls this one back off the netting. Next up would be Brown, second baseman, rounding out the order for West. They have no hits, but they have gotten 3 base runners on with an E4, a hit by pitch, and now the most recent walk to Luis Sanchez. Still in the bottom of the second, though. Pierce Gonzalez 6 up, 6 down to start his day and to start his season. Inside. Day's getting warmer here at Cherry Hill West. Grass is beautifully green after a rainfall last night. As Doherty kicks and delivers. That one is also high. No, got him there. Couldn't tell with the umpire standing over second base. Couldn't get an eye on what that call was. But Baker's down on strikes. Out number 2 for the second baseman, Brown. I mean, both of these pitchers have been pretty solid so far. Of course, Pierce Gonzalez not allowing a base runner in the early going, and then Doherty with just a couple of hiccups, but no runs, no hits on his line either. Been pretty clean so far. So Eric Brown had 6 at-bats in 2024. Went 2 for 6, 3 runs scored, all on RBI singles. Got the call there. As Doherty still looking to work through it. He's got a runner on and 2 out. He's struck out 4 batters so far. Chops that one foul. Count is 1-2. From the signal flash there by the home plate umpire. As the number 9 hitter faces the West Virginia commit, Doherty. Here's the 1-2 from the southpaw. Shawnee started to run in, but will have to backpedal there as it's now 2-2. Just behind us here, the walkways and buildings of Cherry Hill High School West, competing in South Jersey Group 3, entering their 2025 season with the longtime head coach Dan McMaster. One of his assistants, Alex Injayan, left for Cinnaminson, the head coaching job there. We'll be seeing them on Friday. Outside there, and it's 3-2. We'll be seeing Cinnaminson versus Burlington Township on Friday with Injayan in his first head coaching season with the Pirates, replacing 3-year head coach Eric Teasdale. Daugherty to Brown, full count. And a foul back to keep the at-bat alive. Some decent wind blowing out. I apologize. Count is 2-2, it looks like. Daugherty is ready to go. The commit to the Mountaineers, looking for his 5th strikeout of the day. He's got 4 across the first 5 outs of the ball game. Runner on first, and he got the call that time. No, did not get the call that time. Missed outside. Now 2 runners are on for West, as 2 walks here will bring their catcher out to talk things over, as Grant Fournier will grab a bat now. Really good pitch count working by Cherry Hill West. Obviously, when I've been messing up the count, West hasn't. I mean, they have been swinging at what they like and avoiding what they don't. They haven't been chasing a lot, and they have been forcing a really good lefty like Daugherty to work for those outs. You know, like we said, he's got 4 strikeouts. Fournier is one of them. 3 of his 4 Ks are looking. So he's been getting hit a little bit here by West, but they still have no hits on the board. Misses inside to Fournier, 1-0. Don't forget, we'll be on the air for more Tri-County Royal action tomorrow over at Kingsway. It's the Gloucester Catholic Rams and the Kingsway Dragons. 4 o'clock first pitch tomorrow over at Swedesboro and Kingsway Regional. Swing and a miss there. And it's 1-1. Fournier batting with 2 runners on in the lefty-lefty matchup. Daugherty facing a lefty-heavy Cherry Hill West lineup. As 2 runners are on and 2 outs, both recorded via strikeout in the bottom of the 2nd inning. Outside there, 2-0. Yeah, Cherry Hill West has been very patient versus Daugherty here, and especially when you're facing a guy of this caliber, this is a good predicament for Cherry Hill West to be in. They're not swinging that early. They're not forcing the issue. They're kind of letting him do his own thing and kind of letting him figure it out. 2-1.
Hey, Daugherty's got Fournier in a 2-strike count here, 2 outs. I'd imagine on the swing here, runner's got to be going. Obviously looking to put something in the gap here, try and scratch across that first run.
We'll see what they can do here from the Tom Trotman field. 2 outs, 2 on. Fournier. Runners will hold, and there's a swing and a miss. Side retired. Daugherty with 5 strikeouts, still hasn't allowed a hit, but he surrenders 2 walks, and the Lions leave 2 on. We're scoreless through 2 here in Cherry Hill. No score. Welcome back here from Cherry Hill West. Tuesday afternoon baseball here on April 1st, and it's no joke. This game has been good. No score after 2. No team has recorded a hit yet, as West got 2 runners on, but they did not, they did not score, but here's a fly ball out to left center field. Holloway trails over to his left and makes the catch. Hitter number 7 retired in a row for the Renegades, out number 1. Really liking this approach, as I said before, from Pierce Gonzalez, attacking the zone early. He's doing kind of the anti of what Tim Doherty is doing. Tim Doherty is stretching out these at-bats. They're fouling pitches off. They're making it very difficult. Meanwhile, West is making it so that they're swinging very early and they're getting early outs, as there's a first pitch strike to the number 8 hitter for the Renegades, that being Connor Celia.
It's more of a testament to West's at-bats more than it is Doherty's pitching, really, because the lines are just kind of up there, being a little picky. Not really, looking for their pitch, obviously, because early in the season, want to try and make the pitcher make perfect pitches to, make sure to try and secure outs.
Especially with both of these guys throwing their top arms today. Celia down in the count, 0-2. Here's the pitch. Another grounder foul. At bat stays alive. Don't forget, we'll have JUCO baseball on the air on Thursday between 2 very different teams. It's Academy the Baseball Canada out of Montreal facing the RCSJ Roadrunners. 3:30 p.m. start time on Thursday as a part of our partnership with the Rowan College of South Jersey Roadrunners Athletic Department. They will be the first ever non-U.S. team to be covered on Dan Wilkins Broadcasting in any capacity. So there's another check box I can I can mark off. But here's the 1-2. Tipped it, foul to stay alive. Yeah, when I saw that game was on the schedule, I had to circle that date because I really want to see them. They are the same academy that produced Edouard Julien of the Minnesota Twins and a fair number of other Division I and minor league, major league prospects. They'll be playing the number 1 D3 JUCO in the country, the Roadrunners, coming in at 24-2, with 2 losses to Hartford and then another to Monroe College. There's a swing and a miss. Pierce Gonzalez with his 2nd strikeout. Out number 2.
Yeah, look what Pierce Gonzalez did right there. Really ran that one in on him. Try to, make sure he couldn't extend his hands, extend his arms, try and get around it. Ended up getting jammed up. Couldn't get a good swing on it. Missed it and got the K.
That's his 2nd of the day. 8 up, 8 down for West. Here's Taylor Burton, the catcher for the Renegades. And that will be a hit by pitch. Shawnee's first base runner of the day. And that'll be a good thing to turn the lineup back over to Chris Ahrens with a runner on. This game has kind of been a little bit flat to start. I'm not saying that as a bad thing. I'm just saying that neither team has gotten momentum. No team has recorded a hit yet. They're still trying to find their groove, and it's still very early in the season. This kind of back and forth jockey could go on for a while. So I don't know how long it's going to take, but definitely with Shawnee getting a runner on, gives that dugout a little bit more life with the leadoff man Ahrens at the dish.
Yeah, it's the first base runner Pierce Gonzalez has allowed so far, and I think if you're Coach Dan McMaster, 2 2/3 innings, first base runner, not mad about that really.
I don't think any coach in the world will be mad about how Gonzalez has been doing today, as that first pitch misses up and away on a curveball. 1-0. Throw over to first, not in time. Pierce Gonzalez looked to get that out and still face the minimum. 2, 3, and 4 will be the first 3 to bat for West. Casano, Ryder, and McCree in the bottom half of the 3rd. Outside there, 2-0. We'll be seeing Cherry Hill West again on Tuesday, April 15th. In a matchup versus the PVI Eagles. A rematch from last year, and what we saw with them, Cherry Hill West winning 14-7. After PVI scored 6 runs in the first 2 innings, West closed the door and completed the comeback. PVI lost to Rancocas Valley yesterday on their opening day in the Olympic Conference, 5-4. So one runner on. Here's Ahrens. And that will be outside. It'll be 3 balls, 1 strike. And Ahrens takes outside, back-to-back walks for Gonzalez. So, I'm sorry, not back-to-back walks, a hit by pitch and a walk with back-to-back base runners. Put Shawnee in a little bit of business here for Cole Anderson, the right fielder. And honestly, that base running might be what defines this game today. It might not be how many hits you have. It might not be how many times you get on base, but it might be those walks, those hit by pitches, those little things in the infield that can really make or break your day. We'll just have to see how it pans out at the end of the day, because I don't know where this game's going to be going. Like we said, both of these teams have been very vigilant against each other and have been very close against each other in recent years. 4 of the last 5 matchups between West and Shawnee have been 1-run games. The one that wasn't was a 2-run game. So it's never really been a blowout in at least the last 2 or 3 years against these two. There's a swing and a foul tip, 1-1 to Cole Anderson, the right fielder. One ball, 1 strike, lefty-lefty matchup here between the right fielder Cole Anderson and the left-hander Isaiah Pierce Gonzalez. Here's the 1-1 outside there. Catches the zone. No, did not catch the zone that time. It was away. Pierce Gonzalez with his hands up, asking where that ball was. And that's something that you never want to see from a pitcher, is that, that kind of frustration about balls and strikes. I mean, is it warranted? Probably, but at the same time, you don't want to get that in your head. You need a short memory and think about, what's happening now, and don't want to hold any grudges about that. Not going to help your favorability. This time, though, gets the dagger. Strike 3 swinging as Pierce Gonzalez holds Shawnee at bay with 2 runners on. We'll go to the bottom of the 3rd. It is West 0, Shawnee 0. Tim Doherty still on the hill here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. And just for a testament of baseball's pace of play versus softball's pace of play, the softball game behind us, well, West is up by 5 in the bottom of the 5th inning. And they started about 10, maybe 5 minutes before us. And they are a full 2 innings ahead. So they'll be able to catch some of this before we're done. It looks like a strike was called there to Casano. Casano, Ryder, and McCree, 2, 3, and 4 for West in the bottom half of the third inning. Still no score, and not just that, no hits from either side. There was going to be one for Shawnee, but a sinking liner was caught by Grant Fournier and was able to retire the side in the second. Pierce Gonzalez did allow 2 base runners on 2 walks. However, like we said, both pitchers still working strong here on this Tuesday afternoon at West. Here's the pitch to Casano. Got the call there. Should be 1 and 2. And the pitch. Okay, there we go. Strike called that time. Should be 2 and 2 now. But here on a moderately windy day, like I said, I've seen worse, I've felt worse, but still wind blowing out to right center. And a dribbler in between first and second. It's picked up, brought back to the bag, and it's in time. Out number 1 here in the bottom of the third. This broadcast is brought to you by Harper Driving School. Over 90% of students who take their New Jersey State driving test with Harper pass on the first attempt. If you like those odds, you can book an appointment today at Suite 4 of the Total Turf Complex in Pittman at 614 Lambs Road. Of course, Pittman holds near and dear to the head coach Dan McMaster, a graduate of Pittman, before going to William and Mary. McMaster's story really is something interesting. We interviewed him for the Dan Wilkins Show podcast a couple of months ago and had a great conversation with him about him being a Phillies Northeast/Mid-Atlantic scout for 10 years, and also his time at William and Mary, and also coaching a big school like Cherry Hill West after graduating from a very small school like Pittman. We had some great conversations about that. So after the game today, make sure you fire that up. Dan McMaster, I believe that's episode 15 of the Dan Wilkins Show. We'll be firing off some new episodes in the spring with some new guests from the basketball and football realms. Didn't get the call that time. So it seems like both pitchers are unhappy with this kind of strike zone today.
Looks like he might have just missed low there, I'm assuming.
Yeah, it just looked a little bit low and a little bit outside. I think maybe a few umpires would have called that, but of course, if you're Shawnee, you want that to go your way. So, not gonna be an easy fix there. But that one also misses down to Ryder. He was hit by a pitch in his first plate appearance, but was held at first. Fouled straight back by Ryder. 2-strike count now. By the way, still 1-0 between Cherokee and Bishop Eustace in the third inning.
Yeah, I think runs are going to come at a premium in that game.
Same in this one. That one will be outside. And Ryder takes a walk. That is walk number 3. And the 5th base runner allowed by Doherty, the West Virginia commit, as he will face another lefty in McCree. Yeah, I'm a little bit surprised by the fact that, we've seen these guys facing off in this star-studded matchup with a very good lefty in Pierce Gonzalez and a Division I Power 5 commit in Doherty. And then it seems like Cherry Hill West facing a lot of, or putting up a lot of good lefties in this lineup. And Tim Doherty has definitely given a handful of free passes out. And again, still early in the season as a swing and a miss goes back to the netting for McCree. Count is 0-1 to the left-hander. pickoff throw to first is in time. And he'll be retired for out number 2. That's a big break there for Doherty after giving up that walk. Get a little bit of pep in your step again with the pickoff move. And that's always a good confidence booster, maybe a confidence reset. As Ryder is retired.
For now, at least.
For now, yeah, umpires are talking about it. Dan McMaster making sure the record is set. And yeah, McMaster is going over to talk to the home plate umpire.
Home plate umpire in high school is always the chief in command when it comes to these games, obviously. Not every high school game is going to have 3, 4 umpires. Majority of them have 2, maybe 3 sometimes, but
3 for like the really star-studded games, probably up in
Diamond
North
Classic
Jersey.
and such.
Yeah, and some of the North Jersey games have them with like Del Barton and some of the prep schools and stuff like that. But yeah, McMaster talking it over with him. I didn't see it because my camera was tilted a little over, and while I was fixing the camera was when he was called out. So McMaster will go back to his third base coaching position, but just off of body language, you can tell he's not happy with that call. But we will reset with 2 outs now. Base is empty with McCree. As Doherty has allowed 3 walks, but that third one has been erased now with the pickoff move.
Yeah, good stuff from Doherty there. Showed a nice little pickoff move.
Oh, lefty pickoff moves are great. I love seeing them do that because it's a good advantage for them. As here's the pitch to McCree. Fouled back again. He stays alive there. Very fluid swing there from McCree. I like his work. I like how he's able to keep himself, guess you could say, stable in that. He's not too top heavy, not bottom heavy. He squares up the ball. He likes to drive it out there into the gaps. And facing a lefty like Doherty, those hits and runs are going to be at a premium today, as you said with Cherokee and Eustace. Outside, some of the guys are putting up their hands. I don't know in what world is that a strike, but it's down and away. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, nobody on here in the bottom of the third. Shawnee and West still tied up 0-0. 2-2 is a ground ball out to first, picked up, easy play there, and the side is retired. Doherty gets a walk, but immediately takes care of it with a pickoff. And 2 other groundouts take care of business in the third. We are through 3 at the trot. No hits, no runs on either side. Top of the fourth inning. Pierce Gonzalez working through the motions here. This broadcast is brought to you by Garden State Pet Center. Keep your pet happy and healthy with the most organic food products available in South Jersey, along with toys, cages, accessories, and much, much more. You can visit today or anytime. They're open 7 days a week at 226 South Whitehorse Pike in Audubon. Still 1-0 Bishop Eustis over Cherokee. Ocean City leads Hamilton 1-0 in the third inning. Not too many reporters around South Jersey at different games today. Of course, one of them that I normally will be getting info from is here with us today. There's a ground ball. That is the first base hit of the game. Trickles into right center field. Fournier has trouble with it. Now he'll throw it into second base. Throw is not in time, and that will be a single E8 as Fournier did not cleanly recover the ball, and now Shawnee has life with not only the first hit of the game for the Renegades, it's the first hit, period, leading off the fourth inning. And they finally get the bats awake, and they lead off the fourth with a runner in scoring position off the bat of Chase Roberts. And now it will be Chase Kowal looking to continue the momentum. Strike called, 0-1. Game started just a little bit late at around 3:55 here at Tom Trotman Field, currently running in the 1 hour, 1 minute mark in the top of the fourth inning. That one goes to the backstop behind Baker, and Shawnee has the go-ahead all the way at third. And that error could be huge if Shawnee gets on the board first, especially with Fournier's error out in center. Holding the runner at first and moving him to second doesn't hurt as much as a runner on second moving to third. And now you've got a runner 90 feet away from scoring with the cleanup man, Kowal. Kowal lines it in the left. There's a base hit. Shawnee takes a lead over West, 1-0. And the Renegades, in the blink of an eye, go from nothing and go from 0 to 100 right away with an RBI single to left, and Chase Kowal gives the Renegades a 1-0 lead. Very good piece of hitting there by Shawnee, driving it the other way. Not always easy to get quality hits like that, but they got one. Strike called to the number 5 hitter, Marbury. And it's 0-1. As Roberts came in to score. Maybury. Caden Maybury, a junior for the Renegades, batting .148, 11 RBIs, 8 hits, 3 walks, and 2 stolen bases, along with a home run. Despite the .148 average, did hit a homer early in the season versus Morristown in a slugfest, a 14-10 loss. That's another swing and a miss there. Should be 1-2. Pierce Gonzalez is set. Kicks and delivers. Swing and a miss. He got him. Strikeout number 4 for Pierce Gonzalez. He has struck out 1 in the second, third. He struck out 2 in the third and now picks up his 4th of the day for out number 1. As now here is the DH Moles. Dylan Moles in his first varsity game, at least according to NJ.com. I'm not sure if he's a transfer or not, but looking to make an early impact. A part of USA Prime Northeast. This one's a grounder. Back to the mound. Pierce Gonzalez throws the first. It's in time. They throw back to second to try to catch the runner who stepped off the bag. But it is successful, moving the runner over for out number 2. And I like this strategy here from Shawnee. Now that they've got the lead, now they have a little bit more than a one-trick pony to work with, and they'll have a little bit more on the table. Going into this matchup now versus Brady, the left fielder. So Brady steps in. Gonzalez is set to Aiden Brady. Only had 3 at-bats as a freshman, 2 RBIs, 1 hit, went 1 for 3. Curveball, catches the zone, 0-1. Shawnee leads 1-0. They've got a runner in scoring position. After back-to-back singles by the Renegades, Cherry Hill West was charged with an error. And now a swing and a miss by 8, and actually a swing and a foul tip by Brady. Outside there. Catcher Baker hangs onto it. Pierce Gonzalez looks back. There's a ground ball out towards short. Bechtel on the run. Throw is in time. Side retired. We go to the bottom of the 4th here at Tom Trotman Field. It is Shawnee 1, Cherry Hill West 0.
In life, the road ahead is full of possibilities, but to navigate it safely, you need the right skills. Harper Driving School is the premier driving school serving Gloucester, Salem, and Camden counties. With experienced instructors, many of whom are teachers in local schools, we are dedicated to your success and will help you master the road with confidence. With an over 95% success rate of students passing their road test on their first try, you know your student will be in good hands while embarking on a huge step of their young adult lives, all while avoiding the lines at the DMV and getting insurance discounts.
We chose Harper, and so should you.
Welcome back here from Cherry Hill West. 1-0 Renegades. Umpire went out earlier while we were off the air to go speak to one of the fans out there in left center field. Said something of, couldn't hear exactly what he was saying, but he was talking to them. As the Renegades take a 1-0 lead in what was originally not only a scoreless bout, but a hitless one as well. Shawnee finally broke the ice with a base hit and an E8 by Roberts. Kowal followed with a RBI single, and then 3 in a row went down after that. Josue Holloway leads us off in the bottom of the 4th inning. It'll be Holloway, Bechtel, and Sanchez. Holloway bunts. He did pull back in time. Ball was outside, 1-0. No action in either bullpen, although West may have somebody coming out soon. I'm not sure. Especially early in the season, you don't want to stretch out those arms too much. 1-0, catches the zone that time from Holloway, 1-1. And yeah, just a testament again to the pace of play. Softball just finished over there. I think their game ended about 2 minutes before we went to break in the top of the 4th inning. And they're already done, 5-0 final, West over Shawnee. Holloway, right center field. This one's going to send Roberts back, or Aarons rather, backpedaling. He'll make the catch in right center, out number 1. So West still without a hit. So here's Bechtel. Outfielder's taking a step or two in. Strike is called. Right down the middle to Bechtel, the shortstop for today's match with Cherry Hill West. Goes to the backstop there, 1-1. Bechtel, a career .312 hitter, hit .302 as a junior, had 1 extra base hit, 19 for 63 all told, 16 RBIs, and 12 walks. Bechtel over towards the first base right field line, lands in the batting cage. It's foul, and it's 1-2. But Shawnee and Cherry Hill West in this pitcher's duel at the halfway point of the ball game. Here's the pitch. Strike called, inside corner. Bechtel disagrees, and there's out number 2 as Doherty strikes out Bechtel for the 2nd time tonight. That is strikeout number 6 for Doherty. He's at a half dozen now. And that will bring up Luis Sanchez, their designated hitter and 7-hitter. He'll be followed by Hayden Baker, the catcher. The road ahead for Dan Wilkins Broadcasting is just a quick chat with Sanchez down the third base line to Coach McMaster. We'll be at Gloucester Catholic versus Kingsway tomorrow at Kingsway, 4 o'clock first pitch. And then we'll have on Thursday, Academy Baseball Canada over in Montreal versus RCSJ Roadrunners down in Deptford on Thursday. That'll be a 3:30 first pitch. Friday will be a BCSL bout between the Burlington Township Falcons. He fouled that one off his foot. Pitcher fielded it, but the ball is dead. And then Burlington Township and Cinnaminson on Friday. Saturday, we have the first round of the Ralph Shaw Tournament, 27th annual. Camden Catholic and Audubon will be at 11 a.m. Bishop Eustace and Kingsway will be at 11 a.m. Camden Catholic and Audubon will be the second game of the set at 2 p.m. or whenever the first game ends. We will not, unfortunately, be at the championship on Sunday. We have a prior commitment with the American Ball Hockey Alliance over at Egg Harbor Township on Sunday. That one hit him. Looked like it made contact with him there, and that'll be a hit by pitch for Sanchez, who reaches base for the 2nd time today. He walked in his first appearance, now takes a free pass on a hit by pitch. And now another quick meeting here between pitcher and catcher. As the umpire delivered some new baseballs. Here will be Hayden Baker. Yeah, this game certainly is not a champion of the pace of play, I'll tell you that. We had a game last Saturday, Buna and Gateway. Ended up being a blowout in the end, 20-3, but Buna put up 9 runs in the 7th inning, which definitely didn't help the cause. But either way, 2 hours and 45 minutes in that game. But in the bottom of the fourth inning, running at pretty standard pace, it's just that there's not enough offense to keep the game, I guess you could say, lively. What I've been surprised by is the lack of cheers and encouragement from the dugout. You know, it is a stark contrast from when we were at Clearview yesterday. If you watch that Clearview game, you can hear the dugout very loudly on our mics. They are loud on every pitch. I mean, everybody's standing. I'll give them that in both the West and Shawnee dugouts. But those Clearview boys, they were rowdy and loud during that Clearview game where they beat Williamstown. As there's a pop-up, first base side, over towards the corner. It will leave the ballpark out of play. But some dugouts are a little bit livelier than others, and honestly, that comes down to the coach and the culture. Depends on how lively that culture is. Cherry Hill West, obviously a very good year last year, 24-5. But there's a difference between being good and being, kind of a baseball town. Like, I went to Audubon. 8 state titles. First in 1975. 7 of them have been under Rich Horan, who reached his 600th win last year. When you go to Audubon, and remember, I lived there since I was 6 months old, everybody talks about the baseball team. Football, kind of. Basketball, even less so. Wrestling, a little bit in recent years. And maybe a little bit of boys soccer in recent years, as that one goes to the backstop. But there's some towns that are just known for something. Paulsboro is known for wrestling. Trying to think of other examples here. Camden and all of their schools, they're basketball schools. Even Cherry Hill West has had some good basketball teams over the past few years with Quinn Gibson. But yeah, I mean, it's very interesting to see how that culture, especially at Clearview for baseball with the second-year head coach Nick Core. He's a lively coach. He gets their guys fired up. And he really likes, how that team operates. There's strike 3 called. Strikeout number 7 for Doherty as he leaves Cherry Hill West without a run. As after that, hit by pitch by Sanchez, all good here at Cherry Hill West. 1-0 after 4. Isaiah Pierce-Gonzalez still on the mound after 4 innings here versus the Shawnee Renegades. As the Renegades lead it 1-0. They took the lead on an RBI single by Kowal in the top of the 4th inning. That was the first hit and the first hits by Shawnee. They now have 2 on their record, and a ground ball out to third. Picked up by Ryder. Throw across the diamond is, he fell down, and he got the out. How about that for McCree? A good save there. He fell behind, and he kind of just stumbled backwards, but he was able to hang on to the ball and hang on to the base. As that'll be out number 1 in the top of the 5th. An early grounder by Celia brings up Taylor Burton now. 8-9-1. The order for Shawnee in the 5th. As Cherry Hill West not only looking for their first run, but also looking for their first hit. We will get a quick clarification from the home scorekeeper at some point because there was an error, at least in our book, called at second in the bottom of the first inning from Casano. We'll try to send somebody down there in a little bit if Doherty doesn't get any interruptions. But we'll have to see, because he's doing very well for himself. 7 strikeouts across his first 4 innings. As there's a swing and a miss there. Off of the number 9 hitter, Taylor Burton. Gonzalez set, kicks and delivers outside. Shawnee plays Lenape tomorrow at a 3:45 start. And then a Saturday match at Eastern, 10 a.m. Their first non-conference game is Triton, a home game versus the Mustangs on April 7th. Fouled down the right field line. That hit a car roof hard. Wasn't ours, though. Shawnee with some tough out-of-conference competition this year. They play Mainland at home on April 14th. Burlington Township on the 17th. Bordentown on May 1st. West Windsor South on May 3rd in the Colonial Valley Conference. Look out. And then Millville closes out their season on May 21st at Millville. But otherwise a very, hold on here, tough camera almost got blown away. Here's the pitch. This one is hit out to short. Bechtel comes up with it and he makes the catch. Out number 2. Very good play there by Bechtel there, diving to the right, coming up on a slide and making the catch. Very good effort there by the senior shortstop. I mean, this has been a very good infield today. Only 1 error charged to both teams. And that error against West came in a pivotal time. Turn the lineup card back over. First pitch away to Chris Ahrens. Ahrens, the senior center fielder, batted .384 with a homer last season. 10 doubles, 2 triples, 1 homer, 14 RBIs, and 31 runs scored with a very good .593 slugging percentage. Got him to miss there. Ahrens, the leadoff man, bases empty, 2 down. Pierce Gonzalez ready to go. And the pitch. Outside. Shawnee's dugout finally starting to get loud, with the Renegades at the dish. Pierce Gonzalez kicks and delivers. Outside. Here on April 1st, it's no joke. This game has been pretty good. It's 1-0 Shawnee in the top of the 5th inning. 2 outs, nobody on. Gonzalez looking for a clean 5th, and he got it. Huge strikeout for IPG, as there's a strikeout swinging by the center fielder Chris Ahrens to retire the side. West still has work to do. They're down 1 in the bottom of the 5th inning. Bottom of the 5th inning here at Cherry Hill West. 1-0 Shawnee. Tim Doherty still very clean in this outing. 7 strikeouts across 4 for the West Virginia commit, the left-hander. As he's facing the right-hander, Brown. Strike called there to Eric Brown, who had 6 at-bats last year for West. By the way, 1-0 Bishop Eustis over Cherokee in the top of the 5th. Millville leads 6-0. St. Augustine leads 6-0 over Millville. Got the call that time on a check swing. Should be 1-2. Doherty ready. Now he steps out. Some scores from last night in a crowded opening day. Maple Shade beat Pennsauken in extra innings, 1-0. Riverside beat Palmyra 3-2. And in another 1-0 game in the BCSL, Northern Burlington beat Cinnaminson 1-0. Here's the pitch. Outside. Burlington City beat Willingboro 13-6. Eastern shut out Seneca 10-0. Medford Tech beat West Tech 3-2. Audubon, my alma mater, beat Sterling 5-2. Cherry Hill East in Olympic Conference play beat Camden Catholic 11-0. In a inner school district matchup, Highland beat Timber Creek 4-3. There's a ground ball, first base side. It is stopped at first. They will not have a play. And it looks like that will break up the bid for Doherty as an infield single brings a runner on, and it's Eric Brown. So an infield, at least we're going to score it as an infield single. So West brings the lineup card to the top for Fournier. Pickoff throw to first, not in time. Shalleck shut out Glassboro. Didn't shut him out, but they beat him 12-2. Kingsway beat GCIT 6-5. Clearview beat Williamstown 14-1. Triton beat Cumberland 7-5. Delsey shut out Deptford 4-0. Salem beat Wildwood in a Tri-County Classic game 18-6. Gloucester Catholic shut out Washington Township 6-0. Rancocas Valley beat PVI 5-4. Pittman shut out Clayton 16-0. This definitely makes a difference. Pemberton 4, Penn Tech 2. In our last 2 games, Woodstown 12, Pennsgrove 2. And Camden Charter 11, Bridgeton 10. In a slugfest over there down in, I think it was at Camden Charter. Fournier dealing with a runner on first, nobody out. Doherty delivers a bunt, ducks back behind him. Looks like he made contact. Count will be 1-1 here. Doherty delivers. Up high, 2-1. Doherty has just been relentless today, but he has had some issues with closing out that strike zone. He got him. Fournier down on strikes, out number 1, and strikeout number 8. As Fournier, the Delaware commit, has struck out 3 times today. This might be it. As some hugs there, Coach Brian Anderson talking to the West Virginia commit, Doherty, pats on the back all around. Didn't see anybody warming up in the pen, but these guys are all high-fiving there. The number 2 hitter would be Jeffrey Casano. Outfielders talking it over, and see Doherty. Not sure if he's going to stay in this one or not. And indeed, no, we will have a pitching change. So Tim Doherty's day is done after 4 1/3. He allowed 1 base hit to Brown and had 8 strikeouts. The new pitcher will be Caden Marbury, who does a move from first base to the mound. And Doherty looks like he'll be removed from the game with a defensive substitution to follow. 1-0 Shawnee. We'll be right back as the new right-hander appears in the ball game for the Renegades. You ready? Caden Marbury is the new pitcher for Shawnee. 1-0 in the bottom of the 5th inning. They took Doherty out. He walked 3 batters, allowed 1 hit, and 8 strikeouts. And I think regardless of win or loss today, definitely a very good outing from the West Virginia commit and the left-hander. Marbury comes in, the junior right-hander, 1.75 ERA and 4 innings pitched last year, as a strike is called in the outside corner. 6 strikeouts, 1 walk. Only had 2 appearances versus PVI on April 30th, Winslow on May 8th. This one is skied into shallow right field, and it'll be taken in for out number 2. I mean, Cherry Hill West just doesn't seem like they have a lot of energy in that lineup right now. Could be a product of the fact that the season is early. Could be a product of how Doherty shut them down in the early going. But now that there's a relief pitcher on for the Renegades, brand new opportunity to make something happen, to make something new out of a different situation. And like we said, with them recording their first hit of the game in the bottom of the 5th, perfect opportunity for the middle of the order with Ryder at the dish to make some magic happen. You know, get one into the gap, get that dugout talking, get the fans, you know, chiming, get them talking, because that's not what you want on a home opener. You don't want a dead crowd on a home opener, and you don't want a dead dugout on a home opener. So these guys are just looking for something to get the people fired up and try to find a way to tie up the game. And if they have to do it in a slow, monotonous manner, I guess they kind of have to. That's how Shawnee got their first run. Got a single, moved the runner over, and then right away, bang, another single. Took them until the 4th to do it, but see what they can do now. Throw to first by Marbury, not in time. Maybury, the right-hander. Another throw over to first, not in time. Here's the pitch. Got the strike that time. Throw over to first, again not in time. Third pickoff attempt by Maybury. Ryder ready to go. Maybury delivers. Ryder pops it up. This one's going to go to shallow left field. It will drop in foul territory. No, Ryder's running to second base. No, he'll go back to the box. From our angle, we couldn't tell if it was fair or foul, so we just kind of had to guess. Ryder got on his horse, went to second. Now he'll return to the batter's box with a 2-strike, 2-ball count. And there's his first baseman, the other part of the corner infield, Luciano McCree, on deck. Ryder ready to go. Here's the 2-strike count. Another one popped foul. Keeps the at-bat alive. Down towards the JV field. Another throw to first. Didn't get any trouble there. Still 1-0 Eustis and Cherokee. St. Augustine 9-0 over Millville in the 4th. Looks like they could be going into mercy rule territory if they get another run. This one is hit out to left field, straight away. Now it slides. He was short on it, didn't judge the ball right. Now he's going to go down to third, and Cherry Hill West has the tying run 90 feet away, and it's Casano. Ryder pokes one in the right for a base hit, and if there were any concerns about how the home scorekeeper was going to get hits and errors taken care of, that one certainly takes care of the deal. I apologize. Brown moves to third. Ryder now at first, and now another mound visit with Anderson. So mound visit with Coach Anderson. They'll talk things over here as Maybury still going through the motions here as 2 outs, 2 on. And in fact, runners on the corners for Cherry Hill West. I mean, this is a big spot for West after being, let's just say, very dormant. Dormant in the first part of this ball game. Now finally finding some life in the 5th inning. A chance to figure things out. Here in the hustle and bustle of Cherry Hill, we've got 2 runners on the corners. Maybury still working through it with McCree. First pitch. Misses low, 1-0. McCree, the first baseman, with a fly out and a ground out in this ball game. McCree floats it, foul down the first base line. And it'll be 1-1. Shawnee working with 2 outs here in the bottom half of the 5th inning. They hold a 1-0 lead that they obtained in the top of the 4th inning on an RBI single. I mean, Shawnee has been looking very good today. Cherry Hill West pitching right up there with them. Here's the 1-1 to McCree. Kicks and delivers. Down, 2-1. If West can load the bases for Josue Holloway, that would be huge. Just to find a way to get, again, that dugout hyped up, fired up. You heard a little bit of it from the Renegades in the top half of the inning. But now Cherry Hill West looking to add their own flair. That one misses, or I should say, pickoff attempt misses. Still 2-1. Some birds occupying the space in center field. Good half dozen of them just wandering around out there. They have the room to do it. It's 404 to center field here at Cherry Hill West, one of the deeper parks in South Jersey, a little bit closer to college dimensions. There's a strike there. And that might be what you want for a team that is going to have a lot of Division III, Division II, and D1 college commitments. Like we said, John Young Jr., Alabama, Ryder Garino, South Carolina. You know, there's some fields like Alcyon Park is 355 feet to center. Clearview is 350. As McCree strikes out swinging, huge K in relief for Maybury. As Cherry Hill West is left stranded again with 2 runners in scoring position. We're through 5 here at the Trot, 1-0 Renegades. Cole Anderson leads us off in the top of the 6th inning. 2, 3, and 4. Pierce Gonzalez still working here for the Lions. And shockingly, no action in the West bullpen down the right field line. 2, 3, and 4. Anderson, Roberts, and Cabal, excuse me, for the Renegades. Anderson 0 for 2, fly out and a strikeout to his credit today. Another strike called there. Cherry Hill West left 2 runners stranded in the bottom half of the 5th inning. Left runners on the corners. Big shot for Shawnee as a swing and a foul tip keeps the at-bat alive, 1 and 2. I mean, Pierce Gonzalez has definitely managed the strike zone a little bit better than his counterpart tonight. He has 1 hit by pitch and 1 walk, both in the 3rd inning, as there's a high tapper out towards second base. Picked up by Brown, throw to first, is in time by a step for out number 1. Top of the 6th inning, this broadcast is brought to you by the Rowan College of South Jersey Roadrunners Athletic Department. Join me and the Roadrunners in their national championship conquests with the highest rated and most successful JUCO in all of New Jersey, along with the entire Northeast region. For more information on how to become a Roadrunner, you can visit rcroadrunners.com and fill out their prospective athlete form. You can also visit all of their social media pages at RC Roadrunners. That will be all for Isaiah Pierce Gonzalez. It took him 5 1/3. He struck out 5, gets all of the hugs and back pats that you could imagine from his teammates. As a very good start for Pierce Gonzalez may be for naught, as if this game holds at 1-0, it would be a loss for Gonzalez and a win for Daugherty. But the new pitcher in the game for Cherry Hill West is number 27, Zachary Smith. So the right-hander will take the hill after 5 1/3, and we'll be right back in just a moment as Smith takes the mound for Cherry Hill.
Garden State Pet Center is an independently owned full-service pet store. Our specialty is promoting companionship between people and animals by providing the healthiest product choices available, including all-natural foods, supplements that support and relieve health issues, and innovative products for pet parents. Our goal is to provide our customers with a relaxing environment, and while we're not striving to be the biggest store on the East Coast, we're striving to be the best. No other pet store will make you feel at home like we do. At Garden State Pet Center, we view pets as members of the family. We don't believe in fast, high-pressure sales, but instead matching up the right pet with the right owners, as you are making a lifelong commitment. Together with our team members, we would like your visit to our store to be both enjoyable and educational. Simply drop in and take a look around. View the birds, reptiles, small animals, toys, food, cages, and miscellaneous items. Learn of the services we have to offer and decide for yourself if this is the store you'd like to call your home away from home.
Victor Santucci, owner of Garden State Pet Center. Visit us today at 226 South Whitehorse Pike in Audubon, New Jersey. We're open 7 days a week for all of your pets' needs.
Zachary Smith is the new right-hander for Cherry Hill West. I'm Dan Wilkins, joined by Chris Baker and Damian Waiters today, as it was originally forecast as a really cold Tuesday afternoon with a lot of wind, and there has been a decent amount of wind, but 51 degrees, this is probably the best 51-degree day we've ever had. A strike gets called there from Zachary Smith. Coming in for Isaiah Pierce Gonzalez, he struck out 5, only allowed 2 hits, and there's only been 4 hits combined, 2 for each team, as this has been a very interesting and very long 6-inning affair. Quick meeting here between, well, Chase Roberts is up. The home plate umpire also went over to the third base coach and manager Brian Anderson. Not sure what the issue was, to be quite honest, but Smith now working with 1 out in the top of the 6th inning. Pierce Gonzalez had faced the minimum for a while. Ended up giving up a couple of walks. There's a fly ball to left. Holloway makes the catch for out number 2. Roberts looked like he kept that one just barely fair down the right field line. And now Kowal will bat with 2 away. Smith, a 1.96 career ERA, 1.77 as a junior, had 6 unearned runs, 6 total earned, 13 walks, 29 strikeouts, and 23 2/3 innings. Downstairs should be 2-0 to the number 4 hitter, Kowal. Caught the zone that time, 2-1. Caught the zone that time, and it's 2-2. Shawnee up 1-0. They scored 1 run in the top of the 4th, haven't had any life since. And Cherry Hill West still off the board, but a classic low-scoring Olympic Conference affair. Fouled back, stays alive. Here on the 1st of April, here's the pitch. That one misses low. Still 1-0 Eustis over Cherokee in the bottom of the 5th inning. Strike 3 called. Zachary Smith fired up as the inning is over. We're going to go to the bottom of the 6th inning as Zachary Smith gets Cherry Hill West fired up. They're going to look to get that momentum on all cylinders again. It is 1-0 Renegades. Bottom of the 6th inning. Shawnee 1, Cherry Hill West 0. It's been a pitcher's duel. It's been very interesting to see these teams play it out today on a Tuesday afternoon as Tim Doherty was taken out. Now it is Maybury who is in. He remains in the game in the bottom of the 6th as Shawnee was taken care of in order after Pierce Gonzalez came out. Zachary Smith got outs number 2 and 3. It will be 5, 6, and 7 for Shawnee in the top of the 7th, but more importantly, in the bottom of the 6th, it will also be 5, 6, and 7 for West, with Josue Holloway taking a first pitch strike. Andrew Bechtel and Sanchez will follow for Cherry Hill West. West 24 and 5 in 2024, Diamond Classic champions. Ground ball out to short. Throw across is in time at first base, out number 1. And Shawnee definitely will want a shutdown inning here. You know, you don't want to give Cherry Hill West any, kind of any spark. You don't want to give them any kind of life. You don't want to give them any sort of momentum. Especially because if they hit once, they're going to hit a whole bunch of times. And the first pitch is a strike to Bechtel. Bechtel has 2 strikeouts, 1 looking and 1 swinging. And that's just been how the Shawnee pitching staff has worked. They have shut down Grant Fournier. He struck out 3 times today. And now a surprise bunt will go back over the dish. And it was caught. Out number 2. The element of surprise there from Bechtel. Just tried to switch something up, went with a bunt, went with a little drag bunt, but I think instead of getting on the ground, just popped it straight up to the pitcher. Now he brings it back to Sanchez. I wonder if the scoreboard in left just isn't working because because some of the outfielders for Shawnee have been asking, like, what's the count, how many, not how many outs, but like what's the count. So I wonder if they just don't have it turned on. I'm not sure, but the glare on the sun in right center field has made it so that we can't see it that well or at all. But you can see there with Sanchez coming to the plate. If we turn the camera this way, you could just see that's kind of what our angle is of the scoreboard. It's can't really see much. No, those boxes are lit up, so does show Shawnee with the lead. Now working with 2 quick outs for Maybury. Misses in. 1-0 to Sanchez. Hayden Baker, the catcher, will be next. Here on a sunny Tuesday afternoon at Tom Trotman Field, home of the Cherry Hill West Lions. Sanchez with a foul tip, batted off the catcher, 1-1. For our Cherry Hill West fans, we'll be covering them at PVI on the 15th of April, and then again over on May 5th versus Bishop Eustace. Sanchez got a piece of it, fouls it off the netting. I think there's some kind of error on NJ.com because it shows on April 10th and 15th 2 road games at PVI and then a third on May 12th. I don't know why they would schedule a third when in the Olympic Conference you have 1 home and 1 away in your division, but there's a ground ball stopped by Maybury. He gets on his feet and he throws him out at first. How about it for Maybury? Some good flashes of the leather, and after 6 innings, Shawnee still in the lead. They're up 1-0. Zachary Smith gets the party started in the top of the 7th inning. Strike called. Shawnee up 1-0. The only run of the game was an RBI single by Kowal in the first. There's a pop-up. First base side, it will go out of play. But Cherry Hill West in their home opener has been shut out by the Renegades. But what did we say? This matchup never fails to disappoint. 4 of the last 5 matchups between Shawnee and Cherry Hill West have ended in 1-run games. And the one that wasn't was a 2-run game. So I mean, there's some matchups where you look at them on paper and you think, well, this is going to go in X team's favor or Y team's favor. Well, guess what? You never know with these two. And they're going to play each other again as a part of the Olympic Conference second half of their season series over on May 14th. As we said, Shawnee plays tomorrow in their home opener versus Lenape at a 3:45 start, and then at Eastern, the Group 4, there's a base hit in the left field. That one's foul. The South Jersey Group 4 champions, Group 4 state runner-ups, the Bridgewater Raritan. I said before that if any other team than Bridgewater Raritan, one of the best teams in the entire state that I have seen in my entire time covering South Jersey and New Jersey baseball, if they weren't in that state championship, Eastern would have beat almost anybody. But they had to run into the Goliath of all teams in BR. Out to right. Catches made in right for out number 1. So retired is Marbury and Moles. 7-hitter Aiden Brady now at the dish. Cherry Hill West, though, has to be happy about their pitching usage. They have Smith out there for 1 inning, or I guess 1 2/3, and then Isaiah Pierce-Gonzalez for the other 5 1/3. First pitch is a strike. So here's Moles with 1 away. He'll be followed by Aiden Brady. Ground ball foul down the left field line. Cherry Hill West has a 2-game set with Winslow on the 3rd and 4th of April. Home on the 3rd, away on Friday the 4th. In fact, this will start a 3-game road set with Winslow, Lenape, and PVI. Missed on that one. Cherry Hill West dipping into their out-of-conference competition on April 19th versus Haddon Township in the, I believe that's the Haddon Township annual tournament that they have over there, as that one misses up and in. They play Hamilton in Coaches versus Cancer. They have Bridgeton on May the 6th, Sterling on May 8th, Williamstown on May 16th, and looks like that's all they've got for out-of-conference play, but a handful of all-right games there. Fouled over towards the parking lot. Oh, look out, Jeep. The DWB Mobile has taken a couple of hits over the years. None to the windshield, luckily, but a couple of dents up there. This one is hit out towards right field, slicing over to the second baseman. It drops in fair territory, gets past the right fielder, and he'll get down to second. How about it for Moles? Gets in there safely. That will be a 1-out double for Shawnee as they look for some insurance here in the 7th.
Speaking of insurance, Cherokee just went up 6-1.
Oh wow!
Bottom of the 6th.
A lot of tide turns in that game. There's now a quick meeting between Baker and Smith. So Moles with a double. It's the 3rd hit by Shawnee today, and their 6th base runner. So we just hit the 6 o'clock hour here at Cherry Hill West. Like we said, we'll be at Gloucester Catholic in Kingsway tomorrow for a 4 o'clock start. Smith now being met by McMaster after a meeting by Baker. Now the infield in there to check on him. Excuse me. By the way, you were talking about Bishop Eustace and Cherokee. Brett Jackson with a grand slam.
On the Route 70, yep.
Yeah. That's another one of the more unique ballparks in South Jersey. Looking out on the Route 70 with a right field short porch of, I think it's 315. Like, I think it's funny overlapping PVI's field on top of this field, you know, having a very deep outfield. Meanwhile, PVI is so crammed out there in the center field where it's 315 to center with that like 35-foot wall out there. We were there for their playoff game versus Pingree. Sean Taylor hit a grand slam right over that fence. But a very hitter-friendly ballpark, even with that high fence.
Yeah.
Mason Myers should be hitting a couple over that wall this year.
One of the farthest balls I hit seen was at that field a couple of years ago. I think it was Mike Lucarelli in the Diamond Classic against Ocean City, and he just absolutely demolished the ball. That right field, straight away right, and it was just, yeah, I mean.
Strike called.
That ball, there's just no coming back. I think that ball's still in orbit. I think Lucarelli's now up at Penn State.
Here's the pitch from Smith. Kicks and delivers. That one gets in the dirt. That will get the insurance run down to third. He will circle and stop there. And Zachary Smith looking to lock it down with one away versus Aiden Brady. Here's the pitch. Outside. By the way, longest home run hit on Dan Wilkins Broadcasting, at least from our metrics, was Paul Figueroa, who's now, I believe, down at Charleston Southern for Bergen Community College. Hit it on April 23rd of last year, as there's a swing and a miss. Smith with the strikeout. Figueroa hit a ball 435 feet into the Camden County parking lot, and I apologize, it is not Charleston Southern. There was somebody from Brookdale that I think went down there, Ryan Cole, but he is at Penn State Abington now. But either way, still longest home run that I've seen up there. Seth McCormick also second on that list. And speaking of Ryan Cole, he hit one 429 with Brookdale Community College last year as well. So here we go. Should be interesting to see how this all plays out after the strikeout to Brady. It's Celia now. In the top of the seventh inning, Shawnee leads 1-0. Only run that they played was in the fourth inning, and now trying to find a way to get some insurance going into the bottom of the seventh. Quick meeting with Dan McMaster and the home plate umpire, making sure everybody's on the same page. And now Celia, the number 8 hitter for Shawnee, looking to get a good at-bat here with the right-hander, Zach Smith. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss late on the fastball. Shawnee's got a runner on third and 2 outs. Smith looking for a clean inning and 2/3 of work. Shawnee looking to disrupt the motion with an insurance run or 2. Strike called there. It's 0-2. Smith looking for another dagger to the Shawnee dugout. However, the West offense also has to chime in that regard. Here's the 0-2 pitch. High and away. This is a big pitch here for Smith. Looking to stay in the count without having too many balls outside and resetting the at-bat for the hitter. Smith looking to stay in control in this at-bat. Here's the 1-2. He did not get him. The entire infield was halfway across the diamond. Smith was halfway to the dugout. The call didn't stick, and it's 2-2. I don't think I disagree with him. I had a good look at it, but just a tough call there in a good situation. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Shawnee looking to extend the lead with the runner on third. This time he got him. Smith throws his fist in the air, hopping his way to the west dugout. Now they've got a crunch time and a crunch inning to figure something out. They lead, they trail, that is, 1-0 to Shawnee, as we'll see what they can fire up in the final inning of regulation going to the bottom of the 7th here at the Tom Trotman Field. Bottom of the 7th inning here from Cherry Hill West. Hayden Baker, Brown, and Grant Fournier are the 8, 9, and 1 hitters due up in the bottom of the 7th inning. Shawnee up 1-0. Cherry Hill West with 2 hits to their name today. One from Aiden Ryder in the 5th, along with from their second baseman, Brown. So Eric Brown on deck with Hayden Baker at the dish. Outside there. Count is 1-1 to Baker. Baker, a .286 career hitter. This is just his 8th career at bat. There's a strike. Put up a .167 average as a junior, rather as a sophomore. Could be getting a lot more of a prominent starting role with the Lions in 2025.
Yeah, talking to Coach McMaster in the preseason, he did note that, some inexperienced guys, Baker being one of them, like you mentioned, the past couple of years, they've had some very senior-heavy classes, and this year they had to rely on their youth, and this is, first game of the season, you already turned into them.
And Eric Brown as well, just 6 career at-bats going into today's opening day. That one misses low. We'll be on the air for Gloucester Catholic at Kingsway tomorrow at 4 p.m. Mayberry delivers outside. Count should be 3-1. I mean, you're right. The senior heavy classes are never an easy thing to overcome. Like we said, people thought the Cherry Hill West wouldn't be as good as they are this year after taking down or graduating Young and Garino. As a foul tip there, looks like he made contact. Count is 3-2. Count is full. This is exactly what you want out of Cherry Hill West. Bottom of the order, working your relievers count full. Even if he doesn't get on base here, I mean, it's very crucial that he does for Cherry Hill West, but this is a good way to get them a little bit intimidated going into the 9 slot. 3-2. Ball 4. Shawnee in all aspects of the field, over in second, over in left. Pretty much everybody had the same universal dismay for the call. And Hayden Baker, after 2 strikeouts looking, has taken a base. And now Brian Anderson coming out again. I don't know if they'll be taking him out here, but this will be their first charged visit of the 7th.
Don't think I saw anyone warming up, but I don't think Mayberry obviously came in from the field, so he didn't really have time to warm up in the bullpen at least. So I think right here might just be a quick mound visit, try and, calm things down a little bit. And
make sure everybody's on the same page, because after that walk, like we said, and as I said earlier in the broadcast, you have to have a short memory in that position.
Actually, so
we are going to have a pitching change. Okay.
I can't tell a number from here.
So that is number 1, which would be, if I pull up my roster here, will be Chase Roberts. So Roberts is going to move in from short, and we will have another pitching change as Mayberry's day is done after a leadoff walk in the bottom of the 7th inning. We'll be right back after this. Bottom of the 7th. Chase Roberts is coming in here in the bottom of the 7th inning. There's a bunt. Out in front of the mound, it will be foul to Eric Brown. It's 0-1. For Roberts, this is his first career pitching appearance. He's had a lot of at-bats with the Renegades, a .253 career hitter. But Roberts, coming in from shortstop, has not appeared on the mound in any of his 3 years here at Shawnee. So it's interesting to see here in a very pivotal situation they're putting on maybe a bit of a wild card. Another bunt. They went to back pick, but they pump faked it. Count is 1-1 to Eric Brown. Grant Fournier, who has been locked down by the Shawnee pitching all day with 3 strikeouts, is on deck. Here's another bunt. Makes contact. It's fair this time. Third baseman is there right away to make the play. And chasing down Baker at second. It's out number 1. And now here's Fournier.
Yeah, a bit of a down day for him so far. Obviously right here looking to bounce back.
Bounce back in a big way.
Hopefully give his team, that run they need, scratch it across to stay alive, but, gotta see. Opening day, first game of the season, we'll see who's bringing it, who's not.
A sacrifice bunt by Eric Brown turns the lineup card over to Fournier, 0 for 3, in front of a very loud Shawnee dugout. Here's the first pitch from Roberts. Didn't get it there. 1-0. Well, Fournier homered versus PVI when we covered them in early April. Hit one out to right field just underneath the scoreboard. And this time, sends one in the right center field. Going over is the center fielder. Aarons will make the catch. They will hold the runner. He had the tag. The throw went up the line, and now there's 2 away. That is huge. Keeping the ball in the yard, had some good distance to it, but not enough. And Grant Fournier flies out for an 0 for 4 record. And now it is Jeff Casano, last chance. And it would have been better if Baker had moved to third, but he didn't. He went back to tag the base. And now Casano will bat as potentially the last out, floated out towards short. Oh, collision! Collision at shortstop, and now the runner moves to third. They're going to call out on interference. Ball game over. Shawnee wins it 1-0. A collision between the runner, Hayden Baker, and the Shawnee shortstop. I couldn't make out who that was because Roberts moved in to pitch. But the ball game is over. 1-0 Shawnee in a pitcher's duel. And for the 5th time in the last 6 games, this one's going to end in a 1-run squeaker. Shawnee with a one RBI single in the top of the 4th. That's all they will have needed. And the Renegades open up their 2025 campaign by a score of 1-0. How about it?
I can't say I've seen walk-off obstruction before.
Well, it wasn't a walk-off, but definitely game-ending obstruction, yeah.
I don't think I've seen that before.
That was just badly placed. Baker, I don't think, did anything to try to intentionally obstruct, but intentional or not, it still is called the correct way. He was there in the middle of it, and I think that was absolutely the correct call because he caused the shortstop to fall.
Actually, I think what it was. I don't think he ran into the shortstop. I think the ball hit him as the shortstop was trying to go over. Because I think, I'm pretty sure you're allowed, to not obviously run through people on purpose.
Right.
But, you're still allowed the base path regardless. And if not, so I think the ball might have actually hit him on his way to third.
Kind of what happened to Mac Williamson with the Giants a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
An obstruction call because the ball hit him to end the game. So I can't say I've seen that before, but a thrilling end to an otherwise, that game was pedestrian at some points. But, listen, a very good game overall. 2 hours and 27 minutes, the final tally on today's game as Shawnee wins it 1-0. No post-game interviews today. Our dog of the game, presented by Dog Pro Wrestling, will be Tim Doherty. 3 walks across 4 1/3 innings and 8 strikeouts, and he'll pick up the win. Isaiah Pierce-Gonzalez picks up the loss, and the save will go to Chase Roberts for the first in his career with the Renegades. From our entire crew here, Dan Wilkins Broadcasting, our social media coordinator, Haley Mejia, our graphics crew, Gavin Van Rel, Caleb Lane, and Liam Nolan, my color commentator and producer, Chris Baker, my assistant and also part-time producer for the game, Damian Waiters. I'm Dan Wilkins. We'll see you at Kingsway on Wednesday for a wonderful star-studded matchup between Gloucester Catholic and the Kingsway Dragons. Shawnee wins it 1-0. Have a good one, folks.